Hey everyone, welcome to Geeky Sanjay. Today we are starting a Java playlist packed with exciting stuff. I'll guide you through the basic to advanced topic, explaining each step along the way. Plus, I have got a surprise for you, detailed notes for every sections. As you can see, I have created a notes for you and working on these notes for a month, and through I have only completed 75% and I will try to complete remaining 20% as soon as possible. You can download them from the video description. So let's dive into the complete path of Java together. Let's get started. As you can see, first topic is OOPS fundamental from Java perspective. So as we know, what is classes and what is object? Like classes is a blueprint, as we can understand simply like a house map. Okay, so based on the house map, we can create a multiple houses. So classes is behave the same. So whenever we are creating an object of that class, it will copy all the properties and method of the classes in the object, and it will create a separate memory for that objects. So whenever you are creating a multiple objects, both the all the object is separate to each other and all has the copy of that classes property and methods. Same we will do based on the map. We will create multiple houses. Next is the constructor. Constructor is used to be create an object which has a parameterized constructor and without parameter constructor, that we will see in detail. I will create a detailed video for every topic later on, but right now you can see all the details in the notes which is available in the description section. As we can see, four pillars of Java. First is inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, encapsulation. What is inheritance? Inheritance is promoting to reuse the code. So whenever we have a class and we want to inherit the parent class to child class, we will take their properties and their methods from the parent to child class. It's called the inheritance. Next is the polymorphism. Polymorphism, it's joined with two words, poly and morphism. Poly means many and morphism means form. The same method behaves differently in different situations. When something has many different forms of behaviors, it's called the polymorphism. For example, consider a man who can be a father, a husband, and an employee. Although he is one person, he takes on different role in different situation. At home, he is father to his children, a husband to his wife, and in the office, he is employee for the company. This versatility in role is an example of polymorphism. Same we can see in the Java. Whenever we are creating any method and whenever we are overloading and overriding these methods, it's called the polymorphism. What is overloading and overriding? That we will do in details later on. The summary is overloading whenever we are creating a constructor, and in the same class whenever we are creating a same name but different signature of the class, that is called the overloading. And what is overriding? Overriding whenever we are whenever we are inherit this class and we are just using the same signature and we are implementing that method, that called the overriding. Okay, now next is the abstraction. So abstraction, what is the abstraction? It hides the internal implementation and shows only essential functionality to the user. It can be achieved through interface and abstract classes. For example, we can see like a simple example, imagine a car with lots of feature, but when you give it to someone, you only show them to basic like a brake and ignition like a start button and speed controls. This helps make it easier for them and it also keeps the car safe. We achieve the simplification user tools like interface and abstraction classes, which allow us to show only this simplification. Okay, like you can see whenever we are creating an interface, that time we will just keep the signature of the method, not a complete implementation. and the complete implementation only we will do there where we are just implement these interfaces. So now with the help of these interfaces, what we are trying to do, we are just trying to hide the implementation of that method. So next is the encapsulation. So what is the encapsulation? Encapsulation bundles the data and the code working on that data in a single unit, also known as a data hiding. And there is a big confusion between the developers, and it is asked in the question also. There is a minor difference between abstraction and encapsulations. So because both is hiding the things, but in the abstraction we are just hiding the implementation using the interface, but in the encapsulation we are hiding only information, not hiding the implementation. And we are hiding the we are hiding the information using the getter and setter. So whenever we are creating a property inside of the classes, we will keep it as a private, and we will only give the access using the getter method, and we will give only set privilege using the setter method. So we have a complete control on our code. So we know who is getting the data and who is setting the data. And if we want to stop any client, we can stop in the setter method and that getter method. So these are the basic which is very essential for the Java, and this is the first step of Java in the path of Java. Next we will see basic overview of Java. Basic overview of Java, there is a procedural versus OOPS. So what is a procedural? Procedural means functional. Okay, functional and OOPS programming. Before OOPS we was doing the functional programming. So what is the functional programming? The program is divided into parts called functions, doesn't provide a proper way to hide data, gives importance to function and allow data to move freely. Overloading is not possible, inheritance is not possible, code reusability is not possible. So this is the functional programming issues. To solve this, the OOPS come, and why this OOPS is so famous. The program is divided into objects, and objects provide data hiding, giving importance to data, and it is providing you hiding using the interfaces, and as we can see, getter and setter. Overloading is possible, inheritance is possible, which will promote to the reusability, and code reusability is present based on the inheritance. So this is the difference between functional or procedural versus OOPS. Next, what is Java and what makes it platform independent? As we know, Java is platform independent. It is not dependent on platform. It can be run on any platform like a Windows, like a Linux, and like a Mac OS. So JDK versus JRE, why it is happening means how it is independent. So there is a name JDK, JRE and JVM. What is a JDK, JRE and JVM? As you can see here, we have a JVM, Java Virtual Machine, and we have a JRE, Java Runtime Errors, and we have a JDK, Java Development Toolkit. So first JVM is come inside of the JRE, so it will gives the environment to this Java Virtual Machine, and Java Development Kit is whatever we are using the library, it will provided by the Java Development Kit to JRE, and JRE passes to JVM. So this is the process I have given in very detail in the notes. You can go there. So whatever I am showing here, most of the thing you can get in notes in very detail. Early release my notes because I know many of you are waiting for to give the Java interview, and I just want to give you the handy booklet which you can read in a 1 or 2 days, and you are very confident to give the interview. Okay, so here we will see installation of the Java and the setting class path environment variables in the basics of overview of Java and writing first Java program. So here I will show you how it will work. First we will create a Java program like demo.java. Then we compiler convert it in the bytecode. What is the bytecode? Bytecode is a class file name. It will just create one more file name. It is called the demo.class. Okay, so it will save the code inside of that. It is called the byte code, and byte code is platform independent. It can run in any platform like Ubuntu or Windows or Mac. Okay, so how it will work? So whenever we bytecode we are transferring on this machine, the this all three machines, the all OS has their own JVM. So whenever it will take the bytecode, it will convert, it will just read it using the just-in-time compiler. Okay, just-in-time compiler, and that compiler is converted this in the machine code, and that machine code taken by the CPU, and CPU give the output. So this is complete process I have given you in a very short way, but whenever you see in the notes there is very detailed view which you can understand every and each step in detail. So now next path we have understanding the classes, different type of objects. Okay, and abstract classes, inner classes. I completed many classes in this. This is showing abstract and inner classes. There are like Pojo classes is also there. That is also covered in there. So I'm just giving you the summary of notes whatever I've created, and based on that I have created this path. So next we have understanding the variables. Okay, understanding the variables means we will understand about the variable, type of variables, static variable, final variables, primitives variables, object reference, cover big decimal and versus double. So what is the static variable? As we know, whenever we are creating a variables, so static variable always bind with the classes. And the final variables, we will create a final variables, we cannot modify it and we cannot reassign it. So final means final. And primitives means, as we know, like int, string, and which is copied by the value. This all call as a primitives variables. And there is a object reference like collections, array, list, all is coming in the object reference because they are just connecting with the reference, not with the value. And cover big decimal versus double. So what is the big decimal and double? This is not much useful because we will not mostly use the big decimal. Normally we will use the double, and some cases where we are not, because we have a big values, that time we will use the decimals, but it is rarely cases and it is only the big giants company using this big decimal. But you can see the difference between decimal and double in the notes. Okay, next is understanding about the strings. The string is a very important part of Java, and it is very like confusing also. So dive into the string pool. The string pool is a special area of memory in Java where the JVM, Java Virtual Machine, stores string literals. When you create a string literal in your code, JVM checks if the string already exists in the pool. If it does, the JVM return a reference to the existing string instead of the creating a new one. This helps is conserving memory and improving performance by reducing the number of duplicate string in memory. So we already, many of us already face this question in the interview, and it is very important. In the perspective of interview, they definitely ask you about the what is the string pool and what is the string immutability. String pool means whenever we are using the string literal. String literal means double quotes. Whenever we are using the double quotes and we are creating a string, that time it will directly go and there check in the pool. There is a memory string pool. It will check is it available or not. If it is available, then it will return. Else, if it is not available, then it will create a new inside of that pool. Okay, so this is called the string pool. But whenever we are creating a new string using the new keyword, that time it will not create a pool and it will directly create a new memory for this string every time. So this is, I already given complete detail. You just go there and check String immutability, as you know, in the Java, there is no concept of modifying the string. Every time whenever we are modifying or we are assigning the string or we are adding the string, every time it will create a new string and recreate it and give the new string to us. So it is called the string immutability. And we have a access modifier. As we know, we have a different type of access modifier. Explore access specifier, which control the visibility and accessibility of classes, method and variables in Java. Like a public can be accessed through any class in any package. Private can be accessed by method only in the same classes. Protected can be accessed by other classes in same package or other subclasses in different packages. Default, if we do not mention anything, then the default access specifier is used by Java. It can be only accessed by classes in the same packages. So this is four type we are using as a access modifier, like a public, private, protected and default. So I'm just giving you the summary here. In the detail, you can go there and check in the notes. That's all for today's video. We will finish up the rest in the next part, which will be out soon. So stay tuned. Thank you.